This is Bottom of the Bill.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Bottom of the Bill. Before we get to this week's guests, we have our weekly check-in. So what's going on, Chris?
Not a whole lot. Just a chill week post-holidays. Just had gigs and stuff. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Dropped my single Carolina Reaper out on all platforms now on I guess it was last Friday. Just had that one in the reserve and wanted it out and start, add to the portfolio and stuff. So
hell yeah,
just dropped it. And it got a cool response from a bunch of people that checked it out. So that's cool. No real expectations on that. I'm not putting shows together for that stuff. It's just kind of written and sitting there, so it should just be out and be listenable. So
yeah, man.
But it's out and it was doing well. So thanks for everyone that checked it out. It's been cool. So it's out there. You can go listen to it.
Hell yeah, it sounds great, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, recorded all the instruments myself, and then recorded it and mixed and mastered myself in my home studio, and that's that.
That's awesome.
Just done and done.
Hell yeah.
So that was cool. And then other than that, just played some gigs. I hope I can keep this in. I think I like taking little microdoses of mushrooms when I play gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the second time I did it on a bass gig, and it's kind of awesome. I don't usually eat mushrooms at all, but I had these little 0.5 microdoses and was really enjoying the gig in general and what I was playing and stuff. I get what people why they're into them for these mood boosters and stuff like that. It was just every tune we played I was into, even the boring tunes or the ones we've played a lot, and was just able to find grooves and stuff in them and played a really good gig off it. I'm like, there's something to this.
Who were you playing with?
It was Snake Pile, so me, Hamby, KP, and Jeremy King, and Jeremy had some, KP had some, and we were all just kind of locked in,
Nice.
It was cool, but we did it at Southern Grill too, so it wasn't a fluke, I guess. I just do enjoy it. So
were you feeling what's the feeling for you?
It's almost not noticeable. I know I was just in a good mood, which helps your playing. But I felt, any lick I was going after, I was landing, which is, you don't always feel that way. The only clue you would have had to notice it is when we went on set break and I stepped away from the guys and took 5 minutes, I kind of zoned out and I kind of snapped in and was like, oh, whoa, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
But when you're talking to people and in it, it's not you're not overwhelmed with this psychedelia. You're just kind of present and in it and everything, which just does wonders for your playing. Cause we all get, life distracts us and stuff, especially on cover gigs. It's it can be just yeah, I'm here to work, but I got to think about, the week ahead of me or what I got to do when I get home or whatever.
Yeah.
But this was just a very much kind of remove all that, just play, enjoy it. And it was a good time. I would honestly recommend people try it out and see what they think when they're playing gigs.
Yeah. I want to try that out too and just see how it feels. Cause I've been I haven't microdosed yet. Just because I'm not a big fan of the way psychedelics make me feel anymore.
Yeah.
But if it's not anything too intense and it's manageable and helps with the moods and stuff, could be a good thing.
I do the same thing because I don't really take. Maybe once a year I'll take something, but I don't love just the entire experience, the entire day. You know what I mean? I've had my times with them and that was good, but it's not what I do regularly anymore. So I was almost a little hesitant. I ate a big burger beforehand just to kind of make sure that was not going to run away from me or anything.
Yeah.
Totally didn't. And it was this is cool. It was a good way to play the gig. And then by the end of the night, I was just, went home and went to bed. There was nothing crazy. My mind wasn't running away with me or anything like that. I wasn't tingling. I wasn't seeing anything. I was just stoked to play the gig,
nice.
Which is, you're always stoked to play the gig, but it was nice, let's go kind of thing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So yeah, that was cool. And then other than that, it's just we played together, which we don't get to do often. Just got to throw some tunes back and forth.
Yeah, Mellow Mushroom, St. Augustine.
Yeah, easy in, easy out gig.
Yeah, that was chill.
Super chill gig. But that was pretty much the week. Pretty much handful of gigs. And on to the next stuff, you know?
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
What about yourself?
I had most of the week off, so I kind of just jumped around Florida, saw some friends, family and stuff, and yeah, that was good. It was nice. It was important to make time for that stuff. So
yeah,
that's what I was doing, and then finally got paid from a gig that happened almost
nice.
I guess almost
it was pre-Thanksgiving. It's got to be 3 weeks now.
Yeah, 3 weeks just about. So
we don't have to say their name on the pod. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we won't.
we were like pretty close to having to put that out there.
It's just like I like, for instance, like this weekend when I played with you, I was filling in for Jessica Hope, who's been on the podcast before. I was filling in for her, and as soon as the gig was over, like the next morning, I get a message saying, "Hey, what's your Venmo?" Sends me Venmo, all good to go.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah.
With this one, it was like I talked to 3 different people to try and figure out who I'm getting paid from, and everybody's got a different everyone's got a different story that they're telling me, to the point where I just get ghosted by one person, and I'm just like, it was so frustrating. I'm just
3 people.
It's just so unnecessary. It's just like
that anyone can't take accountability.
Yeah, just pay me, dude. Like, it's not that, or just tell me like what the situation is. I don't mind waiting like a week or 2 weeks sometimes if that's the name of the game.
Yeah, it happens.
Like, I'm not an unreasonable person, but like when you tell me I'm getting paid the night of the gig and I gotta wait 2 weeks to get paid, like, that's fucking crazy. And then I'm getting the runaround, and I'm getting told, well, this person's supposed to pay you this. Oh, by the way, everyone else in the band's been paid already, just not you yet. I'm like, dude, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, so anyways, not playing with them anymore.
No, and this would never be an "I told you so" moment. However, from the minute you told me the person that pulled you on the gig, there was a bit of a red flag, and you even acknowledged it, and you're like, but I met so and so that we're playing for. It's probably going to be fine. It's this and that. But in the back of my mind, I thought, that dude, that something, you know, I didn't know what it was going to be. I didn't know if it was going to be money or musicality, or I didn't know what, but damn.
Yeah, well, certainly the show suffered greatly too, because it was very unrehearsed, and even though they tried to have rehearsals and everything's just
it's a hard thing to pull together, you know, to organize that many cats into being clean and prepared coming into rehearsal, let alone getting the rehearsal to run, adequate number of rehearsals, adequate time to set up the show, and like make sure everyone's got the money thing situated. Like, it just goes to show there's more that goes into that than people realize, and it gets noticed when it's not handled. Yeah, you know, so totally interesting. But I'm glad that the money's in your account.
Yeah,
now.
I'm glad I got paid, dude. That was stressing me out.
No joke.
That's that. Overall, it was a good week. Saw family, got paid.
Did a gnarly kickflip.
Yeah, I was at my friend's house, and he had a skateboard, and I was like, let me try and bust this out. I haven't skated in years. I skated when I was in like middle school. Like, did inline, and then I did like skateboarding for a few years, like from the time I was like 11 to the time I was 15. Yeah. It was like my entire world. I was just like a skater.
Yeah.
And then I just quit when I was 15 because I thought drugs and partying was more fun. So I stopped skating. I was also getting hurt a lot. Like, you know, like my ankle, I was rolling my ankles all the time. I have like still to this day, a chipped elbow bone where the bone still floats around in there from when I was like 12 years old, where I just thought I could do a cool thing. I was like jumping off of a fence. I took my board. We put a piece of plywood down like this little gate thing. Like, you know, whatever, we rested against it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to jump onto it and use it as a ramp to go down. And I took my board and I jumped off. I flipped the board. I land, and then it shoots out. As soon as I land, it hit my elbow on the side of the wood. And that's when I was 12, and the bone's still chipped, and the piece still floats around, and I'm moving it around right now as we speak. You can feel it.
That might have to be Patreon content, man. That's gnarly.
So, yeah, I quit skateboarding after a lot of that kind of stuff. And so my friend had one, and I've skated a couple times since then, like, you know, just hopped on and tried to do a trick or something. And that day I was feeling it. I did a couple tricks. So.
I was going to say, your fan base seemed to be A, pleasantly surprised, and B, you might have to get a skateboard. That might be the only way you can promo your gigs now.
Dude, seriously, I don't know what it takes these days to try to promote.
Write your dates on the bottom of the board and do a kick flip and freeze frame it on that.
It's whatever it fucking takes these days, bro. I don't know what it takes to get people out to shows, but
I don't know, man.
I'm not doing it. That's what it
takes kick flips and mushroom caps. That's what it is. Yeah. That's the secret, guys.
Speaking of people who do get people out to shows,
that's right.
Sunchild is our guest this week. It's Brooke and Millie. What a fun episode this was. Those two are hilarious together.
Dude, they're so great.
And the music is really well done, really well written music. I'm a fan. I will say certainly that I love it. And they have a bunch of new music coming out. They just released Ghost, I believe, at the recording of this episode. That was their single that was coming out. I think they have some more stuff coming soon as well. So, yeah, guys, enjoy the episode. Thank you for tuning in as usual. Like, subscribe, share. We got merchandise in the description, all that good stuff. And let us know what you think. All right, guys. Peace.
This is Bottom of the Bill.
But let's talk about what you guys are up to.
Yeah.
So you've released a new... First off, Sunchild, right? That's the name of the group.
I guess.
You guess?
She is the sunchild.
No, yes, that's...
We are all the sunchild.
Okay.
Sun children.
The sunchild. Okay. That makes more sense.
Does it?
It does to me.
Okay.
So, what have you guys been up to?
Well, we just released a single called Ghost last Friday, 2 Fridays ago. October 27th.
Nice.
It was our first single as like an actual band.
Okay, so everything you did before that was just you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the single sounds great, by the way. So who played on it?
So, obviously this girl did some violin and harmonies. Jeremy Prince played bass and did some harmonies too. And then Kevin, KP, played guitar. And I played keys and sang.
Okay, cool. And you wrote the song by yourself, or?
I did write the song, and then Kevin helped me write the bridge section, because I had the full song, and we always go to him for like, all right, how can we make this like sound weird? And so he was like, oh, this chord, and I was like, okay. And so he helped me write the bridge part, but I came to them like with the full song already written.
Awesome. And what about the string arrangements? That's probably you, right, Millie?
Yeah, but actually KP also helped with the ending of the bridge, so that kind of line that kind of continues throughout it. That one. That continuous one. Yeah, thankfully I don't sing that part. Yeah, so KP pretty much wrote that, and then we just kind of, and then I just stacked on stacked.
We really just wrote it as
so
in
fast.
my room at
So
practice
fast.
one day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great song. I really enjoyed it, and the strings sounded amazing on it, and like just the way it like kind of slowly builds over the course. It just really keeps you kind of engaged the whole time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels very isolating at first, you know, and then as it gets along and builds and crescendos, you're like, oh my gosh. This is
Yeah, I think
it's so emotional.
the violin really drives the song.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it kind of like sets the tone. You know, it's like to start off kind of sparse and just kind of vocal heavy, and then but like by the time you're like fully in it, you don't even really realize that it's been building up the whole time, which is like brilliant. And that's what like makes those songs so engaging, is because you don't have to do any work to get there. All you have to do is listen before you know what you're in it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Thank you.
And like, so what's your background, Brooke?
I grew up, my mom plays piano, so I started playing the piano when I was like 4.
Okay.
And then recently, like maybe 2 years ago, I started really getting into like songwriting. And that was when I was like living up in Charleston still.
I can't believe you just said 2 years ago that
Yeah.
you've been starting doing that. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Well, before I would play around,
Right.
like I would play like cover gigs, but I would never like write any songs. Well, I had a few songs, but I would never want to show anyone. And then like 2 years ago, it was the first time I like showed someone one of my songs. It was Favorite Kind of High.
That's such a great song, by the way. Like, I
Thank
was
you.
listening to it on the way here, and it's such a catchy melody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote that one when I was in college, and I had it for a while, but I never like showed anyone. And then 2 years ago, I showed someone. They're like, "Wait, like you should like do something with this." And I was like, "Okay." And then I started writing a lot more. And then I was in like a few projects in Charleston, and then I moved back here last year and found these people.
So you guys have only known each other for like a year?
Yeah.
No, less than that.
Less than a year.
It's been since March.
Wow.
So, Courtney Frazier, shout out.
Shout out.
Love you.
Well, I guess you reached out to her and asking her if there was a violinist.
Yeah.
And then
Because in Charleston, I had a project with this other violinist, and I wanted, because my songs had violin on them, and I wanted to have that live. And so I was like, "Hey, Courtney, do you by chance know anyone who plays violin?" And she gave me this girl.
Yeah.
And now we are sun children.
The culmination of
Yes.
Sunchild. And so you were just playing cover gigs, and then 2 years ago you start putting out your own music, and now you've got like a lot of songs out.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
So what'd you do? Just like start hitting the studio right away and just start pumping this stuff out?
Well, I've like shortly after I started playing live, like my original music, I recorded 3 songs in Charleston. And I still had a bunch of songs that I wanted to end up recording that are on this recent EP. But those 3 seemed like the best ones at the time. So I recorded those and released them, and then went through a bit of a change where my project name used to be Girl Pluto.
Okay.
And then that didn't really work out.
Why Girl Pluto?
Well, because we were like psychedelic, like spacey folk, and you know, Pluto, the planet.
It's in outer space.
Outer space.
Yeah, okay.
And it was more of like a duo. It was like 2, like me and this other girl. So Girl Pluto just made sense, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
There's no really reason for it,
Gotcha.
honestly.
No, it's an interesting name. I was just curious if there was like a deeper meaning behind it, but it's pretty on the nose.
No. Well, actually, it was going to be Girlfriends from Pluto. That was something that someone suggested to us because we were both like, these girls that everyone was like, where did you come from?
Oh.
Because we kind of just like emerged into the music scene, and everyone was like, what? Hello?
I see.
And then we shortened it to Girl Pluto.
Okay. That's cool. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like this is not like a dig on the name, because I think it's a cool name, but it sounds like Girls from Pluto is like an awful sitcom.
I was thinking more of like a sci-fi, like a
Sci-fi.
Yeah.
girlfriends from Pluto.
Yeah, girlfriends from Pluto. Yeah.
But those first three songs, Can't Move, Not Your Bitch, and Acid, all under the name Girl Pluto. And then we broke up, and then I moved back here and was going through like a little bit of a crisis. Like, I don't know what, like, if I want to be like a solo act kind of vibe or like a band. And then I eventually decided that I ultimately just wanted to be a band, and I came up with the name Sunchild. And then I recorded those 6 songs off the EP at the beginning of this year in like January with Patrick.
Okay.
And then released it in May.
Gotcha. And why did you decide to go like the full band route as opposed to the solo artist route?
I just always liked playing like as a band as opposed to just myself. Like, it's more fun.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
it sounds more full. And it's less vulnerable because a lot of my songs are extremely vulnerable.
Yeah, it does help having people to kind of be up there with you and kind of bearing the brunt of the, I guess, attention when you're up there, right?
Yeah.
And also, like, if you make a mistake, it's not as obvious.
Yeah,
So, like,
for sure.
You know, like that's why.
She
Like,
doesn't mess up a lot though.
really?
You don't.
I feel like I do. I did. At Blue Jay, I did. Several times.
Were there
Too.
were there a lot of people at Blue Jay?
We sold out.
We sold
That's
out.
fucking dope, and you probably had a lot of people tell you that you did a great job.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we'll just cut out that part where you said you made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
They don't need to know that. I'm just joking. We're not cutting it out. We're leaving it all in.
Okay.
But-
Good. That was our first headlining show in general here. And it was our first headlining show at Blue Jay, and we sold it out. So it's pretty cool.
For the
Feels good.
single release or album release?
Just
doing a show.
it was supposed to be a vinyl release show.
Right.
But the vinyls didn't come out in time. So we just decided to do like a Friday the 13th, like, and also we were about to release Ghost, so it was just like
It's the first time people had heard it, so
yeah, you know, sneak peek into the new song and just
And so do you have the vinyls now where people can buy them?
almost.
Almost, okay.
I was supposed to get them this week, but still have not heard back. I'm sure they're almost ready though.
Well, there's been, I mean, since I think, well, in the last like 5 years or so, like vinyl sales have exploded, and there's just not enough places that can keep up with the demand.
Yeah.
So like it's like a thing now where vinyls are being back ordered like 2 years for a lot of the bigger bands because they have so many copies to print that they just can't like the distribution plants can't actually like get them out in time. It's just like crazy. So it's like you're not the only one going through that right now, I think.
Yeah. I think it should be within the next few weeks. I mean, I was supposed to get them in October, but they said by November 1st they would reach out. Still waiting, but it's going to be great.
It sounds really good because we got
We've already made a few pre-sales, so that's good.
when we've got they gave us 5 pressed ones.
Oh yeah, like test press.
Test ones, yeah. Sounds so good.
Yeah.
They do sound good. I've got one at the house.
What?
Thanks,
That's
KP.
KP.
Okay, Pete.
KP's my roommate.
Yeah.
Sounds
little,
good.
little inside track. I got verification. They sound
Wow.
Sounds
Look
really
at you.
great. Secret agent over here.
Crazy.
Yeah, right. Chris like went to the plant himself and
I was
got one.
like, you guys gotta let me check out this
Are you
sunchild
kidding me?
release. I had nothing to do on a Saturday, so I just went up there and checked it out.
Where are you getting it? Who's manufacturing them? Do you know?
VRP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that is that Lester?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was on our podcast
And-
like a while back ago.
Yeah, like up in Mayport.
Mayport, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, when you guys get them, I need to grab a copy because I'd love to hear how they sound.
Yes.
Or I'll just go to Chris's house and listen to it for free.
Come on,
Yeah, he's got the
got
exclusive
that inside track.
copy.
Millie, what's your background?
I'm a Georgia-born girl from LaGrange, Georgia, but I didn't grow up there. I grew up in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I lived there until I was 17. My mom lost her job in the recession, so then we moved to Florida so my dad could get a real job he was a guitarist. And so then
So
So,
your
yeah.
dad's a musician too?
my dad's a musician too.
Okay,
yeah.
like a
He's
full-time like gigging musician?
Yes. Before we moved to Florida, yes. Yeah. He was adjunct professor at MTSU in Austin P.
Okay.
And we moved to Nashville because he was friends with Chet Atkins. And
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what happened. And then we moved up, and my dad did Nashville for 14 years. And then, Nashville can get you. So, I mean, it worked out because my mom lost her job. So then my dad got a really good job. So that was my senior year of high school. So I went to Nashville School of the Arts and then moved to Manatee County to go to Manatee School for the Arts. No joke.
Oh boy, what a
Yeah, my senior
culture
year of
shock
high
that
school.
must have been.
But my family jokes that it was probably the best thing that ever happened because that's literally August 2011. We moved. By December 2011, Nick and I were dating. So,
Oh, awesome.
yes, that's my husband.
Aww.
So, yeah. That's what they
You
say.
moved the mic back just for the sound effect.
So, yes, that's... Yeah. Yeah.
Did you
And then,
get a little ASMR action going on this episode? All right. Did you work at Guitar Center for a while?
did, yes.
I think at the same time that I was working
Yes,
there.
I think so, yes.
And we didn't.
That's awkward.
Chelsea took a couple vocal lessons. Wait, what'd you say?
I said that's awkward.
Oh,
No, I didn't really. I was like brand new. Is that giving you a hard time?
yeah, no, I've got it.
You got it. I was brand new to Jacksonville at that time, so I didn't really
Oh.
know like anybody. So like I saw you and Nick were working there,
Mm-hmm.
and I always thought Nick was like the best guitar player that I had heard like at that time here. And then and I knew that you were like a super talented singer because Chelsea was taking lessons with you.
She was, yeah.
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 So
She didn't really need much help.
yeah, total. I mean, yeah, she's very talented.
She's so talented.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
So and like how I guess so Courtney linked you guys up together. But okay, so that's what I wanted to ask you.
Well, that's how I've known Courtney is from, she would come to Guitar Center and then she would do things with Nick. So it's basically since she was a teenager. Oh my gosh, she's so young.
yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's how I met her. And yeah.
So were you studying classical music though, or were you doing like?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that I did during that time was really pick up mandolin during that time. And I did start writing. And so that was depressing time for me, but I did end up kind of writing from it. So.
It's the same tuning as a violin, right?
Mhm, yeah.
So is there like a different? Like, did you get used to like the frets on there? Was that like a thing?
Yeah, that was, well, also they really, some people think I'm just going to go pick up a mandolin from Guitar Center or whatever. Those mandolins are so bad.
They're the worst.
They're
yeah.
so bad. And so a lot of people quit playing mandolin at the beginning because if you want to get a good mandolin, you're looking at like upwards of $1,000.
Yeah.
So that your fingers aren't bleeding.
Yep.
Where do you get one?
Well, mine recently. Well, okay, so Eastman Guitars makes really good mandolins.
Yeah.
They're Chinese made. That's based cute. Yeah, Eastman's like
So sorry.
Clip it.
Clip it. Yeah.
Eastman's like a Gibson. They make some of the same stuff in the same shops in China. So, but like Eastman's got really, really great starter mandolins that you can pretty much get for like $600. So my first one was an Eastman, and then from there I've had that one for 10 years. But I didn't really start picking it up until like 5 years ago. And then I recently got a Northfield, which I had to spend a lot of money on that one, which is sad because it's not fair that you have to spend that much money on a mandolin.
I know.
To have a good mandolin.
But it's worth it.
It is. It's really good.
Yeah, there was like 10 years ago I was playing in like this kind of country pop acoustic folky duo thing, and they wanted me to play mandolin on some songs, and one of the girls had a mandolin that I could use, but it was so cheap and bad, and I tried and I couldn't like mess with it.
You can't play on them.
Yeah, it
hurts.
And I always wondered how people could play the mandolin and be so like someone like Chris Thiele and be so like amazing
have
at
a $2
it.
million mandolin.
Yeah.
Given to you.
Right. Yeah. And then I walked into a guitar store. This is when I was still living in South Florida, and I walked into a place called MAE. They have like really cool different variations of guitars and stuff there. So they had a mandolin from Breedlove that was like $3,500, and I was like, "What? Who would pay $3,500 for a fucking mandolin?" Yep. I picked it up and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's why you'd pick it. That's why you'd pay that." Yeah.
Yeah, mine is $5,000.
Oh my
wow!
God.
Didn't know we were having a pissing contest.
Oh
here.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just the price. Like,
right.
That's just the next one.
Yeah.
Like you can either go get a really crappy one for like $200, $300, which is like for guitarists, like, you know, for a first guitar for
That's
a kid.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
But like literally these mandolins, you can't play them.
I know.
You cannot play them.
Like the nuts are like this far off the fretboard, and like the necks are like bending.
It's
you can't
really
really
bad.
adjust them because they're like.
They're just so small and there's so much tension on them.
Yeah, exactly.
That you really, it just has to be made well for you to be able to like be like, yeah, I love playing the mandolin.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But similar for like most instruments, I feel like you have like this entry level thing, and if you're like a professional musician, you can clearly tell the difference between like an entry level one and like a one that's like nicer quality. But just the price gap doesn't make any sense because it's like, okay, well, you can spend $200 on an entry level guitar, and then at the point that it's worth it to buy another one to like really get like an upgrade, you gotta spend like $1,500.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, this is crazy. Why can't an $800 guitar
I
play
wish
fine?
that it was only like that I could get that, you know,
That's
for
true.
you guys.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like guitars, like, well, if I want a nice one, you know, I could $1,200 get me there. You know?
Ask about that 335.
Yeah.
that was a couple of them.
Right.
Should have picked a more popular instrument.
Right. I know. Well, that's the thing. I'm surrounded by them.
Right.
I'm surrounded by guitarists, so I'm fine.
You're making your stand though. You're just like,
I'm fine. I'm fine.
So Courtney introduces you guys. I'm curious about your relationship, obviously, because like you guys seem to get along very well and you have a fun dynamic. But like you've only known each other for like 9 months or something. So,
We've had a baby by then.
I was gonna
Ghost is our baby.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I just remember reaching out to her to play this one show at Jackrabbits, and we played together, and we like instantly became friends. Like, you're just so funny.
Yeah.
Like,
we both have giggling bouts on stage. We
It's
really
bad.
need to work on that.
It's bad.
Yeah. because I like laughing at her, and then she likes laughing at me, laughing at her, and then she likes.
And then
to
we
tell
just
me to
never
shut up,
stop
and then I'm like,
giggling.
yeah, yeah, we just don't stop. Yeah,
But
we didn't even start kind of being close until these like last 4-ish months.
yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. And leading up to this past release, I feel like we became super close
Yeah.
because we were just every single day we're like,
Yeah,
all right, what do we need to do today?
Yeah.
Like,
that's what
we've been grinding.
we've been grinding, and what I've been really enjoying about this relationship and this partnership is that when you're in a band and you all have the same kind of idea as to what you want, not everybody is always on the same page, and not everybody is always motivated.
Yeah.
And Brooke's motivation for having Sunchild just be what it is what I admire, because I've always wanted to have that kind of like partner in a band where it's like, yes, we have to do that. Yes, like she just says yes all the time.
Yeah.
She hardly says no. Yes, you say yes all the time.
I have a yes tattoo.
No.
Like she is
That's
up
so
for
meta.
almost anything. Yeah, so I think that's what's really great. You have such a great grind. So and because you're at that, I'm able to be like, yes, let's do it.
Yeah, I
you
feel
know?
like we inspire each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say, like, so give me an example of like what has happened leading up to the releases and how you guys have been working together and the things that you're willing to confront to make it happen.
Well, leading up to the release, we just decided that we need to try and become TikTok famous,
Okay.
which obviously is not working.
It's not working.
But just been trying to like get the song out there more in any way that we can. And if that means sitting in my room and like
in the dark.
in the dark with look like we're summoning demons.
Okay.
Like sitting there like doing 10,000 takes of the same song.
Yeah.
We've been doing that stuff
doing
like that
yeah.
like for the past month. Now that the song is out, it's a little less like I don't think
We've
it's
got a lot of content to
we've just been making so much content and trying to like really get into the TikTok thing, and also like posting reels on Instagram. I told myself I would never be a TikTok girl, and that was stupid, but now I think it's
the sad reality of it.
Yeah.
It's just
It is very helpful, but it can be discouraging sometimes because
you've worked really hard to get the song like on curated playlists, and that's really helped too, is especially on your EP.
Yeah, so what's that process like? Are you like reaching out to playlist curators and like directly?
Yeah, I spent way too much time like researching playlist curators and like finding them on Instagram, like just like independent playlist curators, reaching out, emailing them, sending them my song. And it really helped with the last like the EP release, and then I just kind of used those same contacts for this release. But yeah, doing a lot of playlist plugging.
So what's the ratio, do you think, to the writing and practicing side of the music to the work that you're laying on the ground for the marketing and just getting your songs heard? Because obviously that takes up so much time.
Yeah.
But then when something is released, it's like you're also under the gun to like do the next thing and get that done. So what's that ratio like for you?
Well, I think, so like leading up to the release, like the past month, before this month, we had started writing a lot as a band, and just like focusing on like new music. But then like leading up to this release, I was like, all right, I know we're really excited about all this new music, but
we have 4 new songs.
Shh. Just kidding. They can know. They can know. But like this whole month, I was like, all right, let's just like put that aside for a second and focus solely on like the business side and like getting this song heard. And then once it's out, obviously still doing that too, but now I think we're ready to dive back into writing and making demos and stuff,
Get the boys back,
figuring out when we want to record and stuff. So
yeah. So is there like what kind of content have you been producing on TikTok to get your song heard? Because
I know my favorite.
Oh no!
My favorite's the one with Juge at Sunburn with the new one of the newer ones.
I just posted that a few days ago.
That is so good.
We were doing like this duo gig at Sunburn, and I've just been in this mindset like everything is content.
Yeah.
Everything is content these days. And we saw this skeleton like with the Sunburn hat sitting on the couch, and Jeremy goes and sits next to him, and I was like, I'm gonna video you, just like talk to him. And so he starts talking to him, and it just so happened the like Sunburn content dude was also there at the time, and he like came up with this idea like you should make a TikTok of you like talking about like music like or like surfing, and then like use the like 3 hours later and then like go to like the skeleton like being you. Yeah, but it turned out to be really funny.
I loved it.
That's really clever.
Make a TikTok famous.
But yeah, we've just been doing like stupid stuff like that, but also like a bunch of like live versions of various songs, mostly Ghost, and then a lot of like lip syncing in the car.
Did you just notice that stupid algorithm,
but
man?
Before I got here a few minutes early, and I was like,
oh yeah,
I guess I have time to make a TikTok. So just like spinning around in the parking lot. Like,
yep.
You'll see that on TikTok later.
Well, make sure you tag Bottom of the Bill in case it goes viral.
And Endangered Wiseman Studios.
And Endangered Wiseman Studios.
Yep.
Yeah, it was quite a spectacle. I get a text from Millie saying you guys were here, and I walk out, and I didn't know what you guys were doing. I thought you were like trying to like figure out how to get into the building. And I was like, I'm coming, guys. And then I saw you pick up your phone, and I was like, oh,
just being freaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So were you gonna be like is that like you lip syncing to one of your songs, or like just dancing?
Yeah,
to
unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
That was what was occurring.
Okay. I like it. I wish that I had the brain to think about like utilizing every piece of my time like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
it's hard.
It's hard.
I think about shit all the time. Like I should do that and make content with it. But then it's like when it comes
execution.
Execution. I'm just like, I don't want to do that right now though.
Yeah.
You know?
I definitely go through phases where I'm like content. But then I'm like, do not like, I don't want to look at TikTok. I don't want to look at my phone. Like,
yeah.
So do you backlog a lot of stuff? That way you can like, just get it all out of the way and then post for a couple months or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever Ghost came out, I was at the point where I was like so over everything related to social media. And we happened to be at Halloween during the release, minus Millie because she couldn't come. But I ended up having no service whatsoever. And it was honestly so amazing to not have to look at all that stuff. It was a little bit anxiety provoking because like releasing a song and then not being able to like look. I wasn't even able to listen to it on Spotify. Yeah. But it was a great break from social media. Sometimes it can be a lot.
Yeah, for sure. When we released our album like in 2021. Like literally we like played, like we did this whole like little tour around it, and then I had to fly to Turkey for 2 weeks, like a couple of days after it came out, and I wasn't able to do anything for 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
And it wasn't like, there was a sense of like relief, but also like, dude, I have an album to promote and I'm in fucking Turkey right now, and I can't do anything. And I think a big reason why we didn't get any traction on it was because I wasn't able to do any promo for it, really. Like we did tons of promo up to it, and then it was like afterwards, once it was out, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just out of the picture for a little while.
Yeah,
and that was
can't gauge that. There's no way.
No, there's no way for. I'm speculating, but it does. But it just you think back about those times, and you're like, what if I would have, you know? So I think it's important to really be thinking about that, and the fact that you kept things moving after the single came out is super important, right? I mean, you must have learned a ton.
If she was gone for 2 weeks, we would have had a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave Millie all my passwords. I was like, Millie, I need you to. You need
I'll just
to be
responding to people.
Yeah, you need to be sunchild for the week.
Yeah.
Like I cannot. I don't have any service.
Yeah.
So what's that like coming back after Halloween and then having to like confront?
She was ill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You get the wolf flu.
Yeah, I was physically ill. Yes, I was very sick when I got back. But it was definitely like, once I got back, I was like, well, now I have all this shit to do. God, I wish I lived at Swanee. But it's like, it was a nice little break, but I'm happy to be back and doing more content and like just grinding on this release.
It sounds like there's somebody with like a gun to your head saying that. You're like, happy.
I'm so happy to be back.
And producing content, and just don't fucking shoot me, please. Whatever you need.
Yeah, that's what it feels like sometimes.
Have you reached out to like representation at all to like help on the booking side, or even like sometimes it helps to work with a marketing company to help with some of that?
No, I have not reached out to anyone, but I've gotten a bunch of emails from people like wanting to work with us. And actually, I didn't even tell you this, but this
big reveal.
It's not that big, but this week I have been ignoring these people for a really long time because I was like, no, I can do it all myself. I'm not going to pay for someone to do it for me when I can easily do it myself. But then recently I've just been so like I want someone to do it for me.
Yeah.
And I hopped on a call with this PR company the other day who wants to work with us, who just deals with like press and radio and playlist plugging even after the song comes out. What?
Yay.
Yeah. So I did hop on a call with them. However, it's very expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
And I haven't spent any money on like promoting at all. Like,
let me guess, somewhere in the vein of like 10 grand.
No, I would not do that. It was like 800.
Oh,
like
cheap as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You think?
You know what a good PR? I mean,
Let's talk about
you
it.
want to definitely vet the company and see who they've worked with, and you know what they're promising you ahead of, because no PR should be promising you anything.
Right.
Yeah.
But like $800 for, and do you know how long the campaign is?
4 to 6 weeks.
That's solid. For $800 is like, if they're good at what they do and they're not like over promising things, that's great.
Yeah,
you know,
they've got a decent following too. Like, I've definitely been seeing some emails from other PR companies, and they're like have like 1,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm like, I don't know. But then the one that I was on the phone with the other day has like 30,000 followers, and so they seem legit. And also like a few artists that I look up to follow them, so I like.
Yeah.
But I've just never worked with any PR companies, so I just don't know what's realistic price wise, and also some people are scammers, and I don't know. But I think, I mean,
If you hopped on a call with them, that's nice.
it would be beneficial to work with some.
It definitely helps, you know, I think.
We definitely need some kind of like, not to like say that men don't know what we want, but I just feel like we need a women, like woman.
It was a lady.
Woman, no. I'm talking more about like the booking side. So like she doesn't does she do booking?
No.
Okay. So like I feel like we need some kind of like women powered booking agent kind of thing.
What is the and I'm just genuinely curious, what's the logic behind that?
Well, because the logic has been for me meeting these male booking agents and just never getting a really good vibe. Personally.
Okay.
I don't know if it's just like either they're hitting on somebody or being kind of weird or not being, just being shady. I just
Can't have that.
And not to say women don't do that either. I just feel like, I don't know.
No, that's a fair
That's
assessment.
just where I'm at with that.
That's fair. I was more curious if you thought that there was like an image that they could probably push better and see that maybe a male agent is not going to fully grasp. I don't know. That's more what I was thinking about.
I don't think it's that. I think it's more of just like,
But interpersonal relationships,
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah. It's hard, you know, and I mean, everyone's got all kinds of crazy advice and like things that you should be doing. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's just about like whatever feels right to you, which sucks because it's like, duh. But it's also like PR and marketing is important. And if you can get somebody to like help you on the PR side, I think PR is way more important than digital marketing.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you've already got that side kind of down. Unless you have like money, all a digital marketing firm is really going to do for you is you're going to pay them, you're going to give them the content, they're going to post it for you, and then they're going to run campaigns, and they're going to track those campaigns and see where it's working, and how to like target your audience. But like, dude, it's not like build an audience first, then you'll figure it out. You know?
Yeah.
And then the PR side, that helps because if you can get on more podcasts and you can get your stuff playlisted, then that's just visibility is super important.
Just like reaching the most people possible.
Yeah.
Doing like interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
I've done a few already for Ghost, but definitely want to like put everything that we have into this release while we can, especially like with the holidays coming up. Like, I think we need to like push this really hard before the holidays come.
Once those vinyls come in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Final release party next year.
Next year.
whenever they're here.
Yeah.
But the PR company was like from the UK, which was pretty cool.
Oh, that's what I was going to say then. Was that so like Spotify plays versus like Instagram likes and follows and stuff. Spotify is just like doing so well from the playlist playlists, and like we have so many fans in Germany, and France, and they're like reaching out like, "Can I buy your LP or your EP?" And we're like, "I don't have it yet."
I have people from Germany sending paragraphs about how impacted they are by the music, how they want us to come there. I think we need to just go to Germany.
I know. So I did reach out to some booking people in Germany, but they don't want to talk to us, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, from like a local level, your Spotify numbers look fantastic. I mean, like you got several that are, like a few ones that got like 76,000 spins or something, and there are more like in the dozens of thousands, which is awesome. And then like knowing where that audience is, like an agent could definitely like put you in Europe.
Right.
However, 70,000 streams doesn't necessarily translate to ticket sales.
No.
Exactly.
Now, like 1 million streams would translate to ticket sales.
Right.
But like 70,000 could be like, 500 people playing it over and over again, and that's not gonna like.
And it could also sometimes be a lot of like passive listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah, especially if you're playlisted, someone just has a playlist on and it's just like there,
yeah.
So
What's nice is you can see all like the saves and then the playlist ads from the saves, and then you can see all those. It's really cool.
yeah.
It's
But
really
yeah,
cool.
the longer they're on the bigger playlists, the more people who listen to the song and actually connect with it, like slowly just gaining more and more actual fans as
Yeah.
opposed to just passive listeners.
Right. Are you guys trying to like do any regional touring or anything, or just maybe mainly hit your market in Jax right now?
I definitely want to do some sort of tour next year. I just, once again, like, we just need booking help. We did get a small little tour offer at the end of this year, but
Waiting.
not able to speak about it yet.
Oh, I see. Okay. Is it like hesitance on your part, or are you waiting for some things to kind of like align before you can announce anything?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
That.
Cool. Well, that could be
Promising.
exciting. Yeah.
Yes, but we don't know. Like, I think our goal for the rest of this year is mostly just to like write, like finish writing. Think that we want to release an album next year. So we've got some work to do, and hopefully in January the vinyl will be ready.
Hopefully it's ready for Christmas time or the holidays.
Yeah.
So people can
Christmas. It's so
Oh, that's so true. Yeah, I hope so too. That's so smart.
So it is so
Great
exciting.
idea.
That's what I was alluding to early also, because like you can like make posts about it and like content stuff.
That went right over my head. But we do want to do like a huge vinyl release party, possibly at Voussoir, and then just recording in January, hopefully. But definitely want to do some sort of tour, like even if it's just like a small like weekend run or 2-week thing. I definitely want to like get out there, and we have places to go because I'm not from Charleston, but I've lived there for a while, so we've got some fans in Charleston and here and Gainesville, and so we can put together something ourselves for sure.
I was gonna say, what's stopping you from just doing it by yourself?
Just like finding the time,
yeah, the
I
time.
guess, because all of us are full-time musicians, so
You're in school too right now.
yeah, I'm in
Oh,
school. I'm in my master's right now, so. But just like finding time that all of us are available, and just like scheduling it out far enough in advance.
Yeah, we're all like between we're all professional musicians, so like KP and Jude are like they've
in
got
10,000 different projects.
yeah.
Right.
So I mean we just haven't sat down and been like, okay, like what works for everybody.
But I think it'll all happen like naturally. Like there is no rush.
Yeah, there isn't.
And the longer we sit on this music, I feel like the more fans will create, and then the more chance people will show up to our shows.
Yeah. Well, it also helps to focus on building a market, like a fan base, like
Here,
locally.
yeah.
Like we made the mistake of like just trying to hit it everywhere and build it all at the same time, and then we ended up like not focusing enough here.
Right.
So we do local shows with other bands, and like there'd be like a low turnout, and then those bands don't want to do shows with you in their hometown. So it's like a
Right,
weird
yeah.
thing, So like building a base that way, when people do like when people are on tour and you're doing a show with them and you can bring 50 to 100 people out, then they're like, hey, why don't you do a show with us in our hometown and we'll do the same for you guys.
Yeah.
And then it's like and then everyone's guaranteed a little bit of money, and it makes it way
Right.
easier,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think starting like where we are, like really getting our fan base super strong would be the most beneficial.
Yeah.
And then going out into the wild.
Yeah. And I'm curious about, like, are you set on keeping like a consistent band? You wouldn't, like, if it was like, if I'm trying to, like, if there was an opportunity that was like, hey, we're gonna do this for, you know, a week in June, and you had people be like, well, I'm doing this and that, would you, like, you don't think about like maybe just putting together a band to do it, or you want to keep the same people?
No, we probably will have to do that.
Gotcha.
I personally definitely want to like keep the same people, because once you create like a brand, like I want to keep the same people together, and like the OGs are the OGs. But at the same time,
but
if it's
the
like
OGs need to do
a really good opportunity, like at the end of the day, like it's a lot of like my music, and then like I know Ghost is like but like I definitely want to like take opportunity, like if it's worth it, like I would take the opportunity
Gotcha.
But obviously I would rather have you guys there.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the ideal thing to do. Like when you're building a brand and all that, and having the consistency in the show too. You know, like having the performers like play their parts that way.
We've even talked about just doing like a duo thing first as a soft run.
Yeah.
But
you know,
keep your overhead nice and low, and then also there's less variables to keep track of.
Yeah, but that's like why I like having the name like Sunchild, because I feel like it can be like just me, like I can play like a solo show like Sunchild, but also it is us as a band too.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum. Yeah, so we did. So I don't think we got into why you named the band Sunchild. We almost got into it before the camera started rolling, and
it's obvious.
So when I was thinking of band names, I wanted it to be, well, yellow is my favorite color.
Okay.
And I wanted the like brand to be like yellow, like I don't know. And I was trying to think of names. I thought of the name Yellow, but that's obviously taken. And it's obviously not really that great of a name.
I was gonna say, I think the fact that it's not a good name is like the more important thing there. I'm surprised somebody has that as their band name.
I was like, Yellow, no. But Sunchild, my mom is a huge inspiration, like, for me. She taught me piano, and every morning she would sing to me, "You are my sunshine," that song. And so I just kind of thought back to that, and I thought of Sunchild because, like, as a little girl, she'd sing me that song, and like that's like when I started singing, when I was younger with my mom, just around the house. And also I feel like it fits the vibe, like I like the beach a lot, the sun, and yeah.
Cool. I think Sunchild is a great name. I like that name.
Thank you.
I feel like you can do a lot with like the vision of it, like just aesthetically, you know.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned that you were in school you're going to school for your master's right now. What are you going to school for?
Social work.
Okay. It's a total opposite direction of
It's
music.
very sunny.
Yeah. And also very sunny. Yeah.
Yeah.
America's youth.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't go to school for music. I went to school for psychology. And now I'm
actually really good, actually. You did a really good job by choosing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely better. I mean, a music degree is brutal.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
I don't have one, but, you know.
Thanks, bud.
I've been told.
I've been told. I have no degree at all, so what the fuck do I know?
You got a degree in podcasting.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, I'm currently in my master's at Florida State University, online though. But I do I have to do an internship every day, except today I said that I was sick.
Oh.
You are kind of sick.
I am. No, it's not contagious though. It's just I'm congested. But yeah, I'm interning as a therapist.
Okay. So how does that work? How do you intern as a therapist? He's like,
I'm actually really interested about this.
yeah.
Oh my
He's
god.
like, patients walk in and like, okay, guys, you're gonna see our intern today.
So, this is actually internship number 2 because I have to do 2 different internships, both at different agencies. And my first internship, was at this school on the west side, and at this elementary school, I was a mental health counselor to these children, and they were understaffed there, and so I was a mental health counselor. Like, I had no idea what I was doing, and they were like, oh, here's all these clients, and I'm like, thank God they are kids and don't know that I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh my God.
But
crisis.
yeah. But I eventually got the hang of it. But like, thankfully this internship I'm just strictly observing. Like, I sit in with a actual licensed counselor who does like sessions with people, and I'll just like sit in the corner and listen.
Not awkward at all.
It's really uncomfortable sometimes, but the patient can choose whether or not they want me in the room,
Right.
So they have the choice.
And you're like sitting there, it's like taking notes, like, oh, this person's fucking whacked, dude.
Well, I feel awkward. I don't know whether or not to take notes, so most of the time I just sit there and like nod if they ever look in my direction.
So, but the purpose is to take notes, though, right? Like, that's the whole thing, is that you're supposed to like observe and then like keep track of what's happening so you can apply it to your own, so
yeah, I end up taking notes, but at first I felt like if I was that person, I wouldn't want some person sitting there like taking notes about my life, you know. But I mean,
Good music making.
yeah, that's
totally.
yeah, it is. And it's definitely inspired some of my recent songs, like and looking forward into the songs that we work on next, I kind of want to like incorporate like wellness and healing into these songs, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's helpful to see from like other people's perspectives too, like what they're going through.
Yeah.
Not that I would mention anything related
Just
to
start dropping names. This song was inspired.
This
Yeah.
song literally sounds like my life.
that'd be super against HIPAA.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Dude.
it's my life on a daily basis.
So do you like take those experiences and like kind of create characters, or do you speak about, like, are you singing about it from the first person, or like how do you take those ideas and like make songs out of them?
Well, recently I've been thinking about like writing as more of like a like on everyone's, like from everyone's perspective as opposed to just like my own, because in the past, like up till now, it's just been mostly from my own perspective, but I've been like wanting to start writing from other people's perspectives maybe, that are not the same as my own. I think it could be cool, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to try, because like something that I've tried to do in the past, or that I mean I do it all the time because it's just like kind of a cop out for me, so I don't have to talk about like an experience for what I often will like take something and create like a character in the song. That way it kind of takes the pressure off me to be vulnerable.
Right.
Like I can take my experience and personify it into somebody else's thing, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's okay, well now I'm getting this thing off of me, but the listener doesn't have to know that it's my experience.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's cool too because like I think, you know, what I do find it interesting when songs tell somebody's story. It's not the artist's story, right? So it's like if there's a character that I can kind of follow and grow with in the song, I become more attached to it. I think.
Yeah.
You know, I think people just because again it's just storytelling. You know.
Yeah, like creating stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, the songs that we've released are definitely extremely vulnerable, and sometimes like when like people ask what they're about, I'm like, I have to go into that story again. Like,
yeah.
shit.
So what's Ghost about? Millie's earrings.
Yeah. Her earrings.
I bought so many Ghost earrings before the release of Ghost.
Yeah.
I don't know how many I have.
Did you guys do a video for it?
A Ghost video?
Yeah. Like for the song?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, we did. We don't know if it's gonna see the light of day though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a very DIY.
It was very DIY, and it was when that boat on Jack's Beach. Is it still out there?
Yeah.
Oh, that was just
You
like
guys
a couple
know about
weeks
that
ago.
boat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's across the
where
street
her
from my
place
house.
is, yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. And I walked out there one day and I was like, content from the gods.
Delivered me a boat.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry for your misfortune, but I've got content for days
Yeah,
now, dude.
for months. That thing is not going anywhere.
No.
I will tell you, I went out there one night right when it happened, and the man was still on the boat. And he was like all pissed off, like, get away from my boat. Like, and I was like, my God, how did you just manage to do this?
So I saw like a news story about it, but I don't really know what happened.
Maybe he fell asleep.
I don't know what happened. I just know that he just washed up on shore.
And he's still on. He can't get off the
He was still
boat.
on the boat.
He can't just like swim to shore. How far out is it?
It's right.
It's
on
on
the
land.
beach,
It's
yeah.
on
Oh,
in the sand.
It's totally beached.
It's
Yeah.
totally beached.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think
100% get off that boat.
So he's just
Yeah.
hanging out.
he was like sitting there like, what do I do? I mean, rightfully so.
Yeah.
But it was like an attraction. Like a bunch of people were like walking up and being like, oh.
Right.
And he
Trying
was
to get
like
content.
still on there. And I was like, that sucks. I don't know what happened.
So, and you basically were like, he's telling you get away, and you're like, sir, I'm just trying to get some content.
Sir,
I need you chill the fuck out,
I'm
dude.
just trying to become TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Maybe you can sympathize a little
You
bit.
heard
with
of
me.
that?
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
your boat?
I bought this GoPro that I thought would work.
There was some good.
Oh, to
There's
make a
some good
video?
stuff.
We
There's
did.
some good stuff. It just like wasn't what. It just was not what I had hoped it would be.
What were you hoping for?
I was hoping I'd get some cool shots that weren't so grainy.
They were, and honestly, I
They
like
were
the
really
grain.
Cool.
I like
You
the
like
grain.
the grain? Okay.
It's more
I just
vintage
and then
film
and there's a
vibes.
couple spots where you're smiling and laughing a lot, which is great. It's just Ghost is like kind
Not
of
that
sad.
vibe.
Yeah, no, I'm like, because I can't take myself seriously when I'm like lip syncing, especially
Yeah.
when some's watching me do
There
it.
were so many people
And I'm
out there,
like-
too.
Now I just feel dumb.
Sorry, my phone's going off.
Yeah,
First day on the job or what?
I'm like laughing through all the painful
Yeah.
lyrics, and it's like
there's,
so not.
Jeremy in the background with
Jeremy, we made him put on a
Ghost
white sheet, and he's just walking,
He's just
lurking
walking
on the
and lurking
beach.
around.
I actually need this to come out right away.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some good stuff. It's just like it's hard to when you like look at it at the end of the day. I'm like, we were out there for an hour.
I think
And
we
that's
have
what-
some great
we do.
shots,
We
and
do.
we're going to make a video.
We are.
It's just about
I
sitting
think
down
we should use
and,
Madison Hughes's camera.
and figuring out.
We've got cameras here.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, can we borrow?
Yeah, we do. We did Kika the Braves live video. We did Time Wise shoot. We did
Alchematic.
We did Alchematic.
Okay.
The live stuff for Alchematic. We use these cameras to do stuff all the time.
We would love
We would love to do that.
to do that.
That would be great.
We need some live. We've been needing some
Just let me know
live
your hourly rate.
live videos.
We will.
rate.
Don't you worry.
Yeah, yeah. We can work something out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dope.
Be happy to help. I don't know. I'm not very good with the cameras.
It's just so hard to like. I'm good with cameras. If the camera's good,
Yeah.
I can make it work. I was doing photography since I was like in high school. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Well,
but
You want an internship?
no,
no internship.
but no, like
Unpaid.
Most definitely.
But that's like the hard part about like, okay, why don't you have a music video out? Oh, hey, do you have $3,000 to like have somebody do it?
Yeah, I know. That's the whole thing. That's what people don't understand. It's like okay, well, you want to spend money on like targeting content, right? And then you want to spend money on like just getting the content. And music videos are so expensive. Studio time is so expensive.
Yeah.
Then you got to play shows, and you're trying to sell tickets. And you got to hire a band, and the band is expensive. Everything costs money.
So much money.
So like when you see a band out there that has like, you know, it was impressive to see that you have the EP out already, and then you have like a single that you guys came out with. And you have more coming out like later, like next year. So it's like, as somebody who's done all that, like I know what all that is and what that all costs, and like it's impressive to see. And for people that don't know, there's so much work and money that's behind all this. It's just like, you know, so when you see somebody that has like a single and nothing else, it's like they got the single out.
Right.
That's a feat,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah.
We've been trying to do it like as DIY as possible because definitely we're not made of money and want to like save the money to do the most useful things. So that's why we've been just trying to do everything ourselves.
As if you can do it by yourself, and that's the best way to do it until you absolutely can't.
Right.
You know.
Until we
bracelets.
we should have brought the bracelets.
We should have brought them bracelets. Some friendship.
I'd rock a bracelet.
next time.
Yeah.
When those, we'll do another episode when the vinyls come out.
Hey. Should bring KP and Juge.
Oh yeah.
Those guys are a bit of a problem on
They
the
are
show.
a bit of a
Actually,
problem.
Yeah,
last time they were on, they canceled themselves. So.
Wait, really?
No.
Oh, yeah, well,
What
not
did he
enough
do?
people saw it to get canceled.
that's true.
I bet it was Kevin.
It was
No,
not.
it was not.
Jeremy?
It
Yeah.
was not, and I think you two
damn it, Jeremy.
specifically have something to say about it.
Jeremy with the hard line unpopular opinions.
Oh no.
Just actually for fun, next time you guys go on a car ride together, just ask him about his unpopular opinion on the show, and
Yeah.
just let's film that argument and put that online for us.
Yeah, or just send it to us so we can clip it as content.
Content.
You guys want to hit some unpopular opinions?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, I would highly recommend to not do that one.
Wait, what?
He's got
He's got one that he is not allowed to say.
I
today.
do. I'm gonna save it for like 6 months and then come back to it. But that one's staying on the
April
list.
Fools.
That's a great one, actually. I thought of another very distasteful one regarding the wars is going on.
For fuck's sakes, okay.
But maybe I'll see how that one plays out too.
Just whatever you're feeling, Chris. I'd highly recommend. I really don't want that first one to come out just because it's too like I play in that band, so like
Yeah, it's about you.
dude. We're not doing this right now.
Check out our Patreon. All right.
So yeah, let's get right into politics then. What you got? For us?
I was gonna. That one's funny, but it's not a funny topic. But
Yeah.
it came into my head. But you got to make light of things. Should I go for that one? It's very. We can.
Politically, let's go.
Let's cut it. If you don't like,
Oh, God.
seriously, tell me if it's too distasteful and we won't use it.
Okay.
Oh,
Sounds
man.
like you're uncertain about it, dude.
Israel should just fight Russia and take over that land.
What?
You know what? You know what?
You know what I'm saying? Because like, there's a whole thing going on over there.
Yeah.
And no one likes Russia, and they need like a place, and like they don't. They're that's a little hot button, like where they're at. So like, why don't they just go take out those guys that we don't like, and they can have so much more space and room.
Yeah, because Russia.
And then Palestine's happy they got their home, and then we're happy we don't have Russia, and Israel's got this big ass land.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a.
I think I solved the war, guys.
Well, aside from
an
the biblical implications that you're leaving out,
Yeah.
I didn't read that book.
yeah, okay. So, anyways, yeah, I mean, if that's your solution, that's a solution.
I've
You
been
know,
working
it's-
pretty hard on my geopolitical aspirations recently.
Yeah.
I thank God I thought you were maybe going to say, Hamas isn't that bad.
Oh,
That's what you were
It
gonna
wasn't that
say.
bad. It wasn't that bad.
Those words did not come out of my mouth in case
I was
anyone's
very
paying
surprised that
attention.
you said that.
No, I'm not smart enough to know
Yeah,
who
because
that
Russians
is.
don't deserve to exist, apparently, right?
Oh god.
Not with how they've been treating my boys in the
so
Ukraine.
check out the new Sunchild single. It's
I do
it's
have an
about-
unpopular opinion.
yes, it's here.
Oh god.
Teslas suck.
Really?
Ugh.
Really?
What don't you
That-
like
Why
about
do you
it?
say
Car
that?
Sucks ass.
What don't you like about it?
Okay, so Nick and I rented one when we went to California. We thought, wow, California is the best place to try out a Tesla. They have pretty much as much infrastructure as you can get with a Tesla. Charging stations everywhere. The ceiling is glass.
Yeah.
Not just like it's glass, but you can't like let the sun, it's not a
You can't be a child of the
moving
sun in
child.
the Tesla.
thing.
Yeah, uh-huh.
It's not a moving window or anything.
Can't be yourself.
And you
Yeah.
can't like cover it. You can't cover it. So if it's like 110 degrees outside, your scalp is burning.
Oh, word.
It is so hot in that car. And yeah, also like let's not have the dash be in the middle, so that way you're like gonna have to look over to see how fast you're going. Yeah, and the charging it's just not there yet. It's
Yeah.
not there yet.
Do you think that it needs to be totally reworked, or do you think that it just hasn't gotten to its peak product yet?
I think Tesla, just because it was like the first, doesn't mean it's the best.
Right.
So I would say the new Ford Mustang Mach-E is way better than the Tesla in regards to style, charging. Like that's just a better car. Tesla just if you're at 40% on a Tesla and you're like, I really have a big trip I got to go on. I got to make sure that I'm at 90% because they recommend you don't have it at 100%. I don't know why. It's just having to do with the battery. It'll take you hours to charge your car because it's not at 20%.
Oh, that's weird.
Because if it's at 20%, the battery is conditioned to charge faster. It's just a stupid car.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
so stupid.
This episode is brought to you by Ford.
Yeah, Ford.
Sponsor us.
Yeah. I've only been in a Tesla once, and it was like this guy who had I don't know, some kind of like Uber like service. And then I was on a gig, and we just started talking, and he was like, yeah, it's Tesla, but like it's like Uber but like with Tesla, and it's called Black Car or something, I don't know.
Right.
And
Uber
and
Black.
Right.
no, not Uber, no, it's a whole different company. It's a whole different app and everything. And you have to, it has to be a minimum of like 50 miles on there to travel for him to like pick you up. So
Dang.
he was like, you ever been in this is like 5 or 6 years ago. This is like right when Tesla was coming out. He's like, you ever been in a Tesla? And I was like, no. So you want to go for a ride real quick? And I was like, yeah, fuck it. So he took me for like just around Jack's Beach, and then it went from like 0 to 60 like real fast.
Yeah, but now all electric cars can do that.
They can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in Texas and rode in a Rivian, which is like these electric trucks, and I'd never heard of
I've
them.
That's
seen
a
those.
cool car.
And this dude, we were in an Uber, and this guy goes, and it like had some pickup, and we're like, oh man, this thing's fast. He goes, you guys want to see something crazy? And then we go to get on an on-ramp, and he goes 0 to 60 in about a second and a half.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And I thought we were on a roller coaster, and I was going to vomit in this dude's Uber. I mean, it was like trucks don't go that fast.
Yeah.
That's
It was
The
wild.
insane.
Rivian truck is cool.
They're way better than Teslas. They're
Yeah.
Ford and Rivian.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, I've
They got
seen
it
those
going
trucks.
on.
They look dope.
They're
They
insane.
look like some kind of Pixar character.
Yeah.
They kind of act like it when you're in it too. You're just like, this is, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's an unpopular opinion.
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but I'm like very afraid of Ubers.
I mean, a lot of people use it, so it is unpopular, I guess. Are you more of a Lyft girl, or like, what's your?
No, just like in general.
Yeah, I got you.
Like,
Oh, you're freaked out. Well, you're a
like,
very shy person.
almost no, that's not why.
Oh, okay.
Almost every time I ride in an Uber, I'm like, okay, we're gonna make it to the destination.
Oh.
Like I don't want to get murdered. Like, I don't know. I think it ruined for me when this one time, and I'm not making this up. I went on this. I was in this Uber with some friends after this night out downtown Jacksonville. We were Ubering back to the beach, and our Uber driver was like tailgating the person in front of us. And the person in front of us kept like brake checking. And so my Uber driver got really mad, you know. And we eventually got up to this stoplight on A1A, and my Uber driver like is huffing and puffing, stops the car, puts it in park, opens the door,
No.
grabs from underneath his chair
Stop.
a machete, like a sword, like this long, gets out of the car, runs up to the car in front of us and starts hitting the back of the car with the machete. And then the car in front of us like sped off and ran the red light, and everyone in the Uber was just like sitting there like, what do we do? Like, do we run?
That's fucking
Do we stay?
crazy,
Like,
dude.
do we leave? I don't know. And then he like gets back in the car, like puts the large knife underneath back his chair, and is like, sorry about that, and like just starts
Just so chill, it's like,
starts going. And we made it back to where we were going, but
Did you tip him?
no, we did not tip
give
him.
him a 5-star rating.
No, we tried to like
Report him.
report him,
Yeah.
and I honestly didn't think we were gonna make it back to our
I
destination.
wouldn't either. I
I
would
mean,
have freaked
that's-
out.
I don't think I could have not laughed my ass off when he gets back in that car and goes, sorry about that.
Yeah, it was so
I
like
just don't think I could not.
it was so nonchalant.
Even if I died, I still don't think I would be laughing at that.
It's like, so
I
is this
mean,
a regular
Really
occurrence
lost
for
my
you?
cool for a
Like-
moment,
so
you
you
know,
have
like-
PTSD.
I mean, afterwards, we were all like in so much shock that all you can do is laugh. But like, it was just so like shocking. And ever since that Uber ride, every Uber that I get in, I'm like, will we make it to our destination? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I would venture to say, and this might be a leap, but that's probably a really uncommon situation.
That's very uncommon. Yes.
Yeah.
But that is so wild.
Jacksonville, not surprised.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. That is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely sticking
That's
to Lyft from
wild.
now on.
That is wild.
I still use Uber though when absolutely necessary.
I mean, it's the most convenient thing. I mean, like when you're out and if you're drinking and stuff or whatever it is, like it's just, it's the best thing ever.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
This is why more cities need those scooter things.
Yes.
So then you can just scoot yourself and anything, it's all on you at that point, whatever happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
don't
are
have-
fucking wild, dude. We were hanging out in front of Underbelly not long ago, and people are just like whizzing by on those, like with no regard for human traffic. We're just like, dude, you guys need to chill the fuck out. There's like 50 people out here just
All right,
hanging
Grandpa,
out.
chill the fuck out, dude.
I was just saying, dude.
Those kids and their dangerous motor machines.
Catch me scootering back to the beach from
downtown.
From downtown.
Yeah,
Oh,
fuck
gosh.
yeah, dude. Going over the Arlington Expressway. It's like,
That would be a sight to see.
Tesla hasn't made those scooter batteries long enough. You got to charge them halfway out.
oh my god, dude. That's like one of my biggest fears is like getting stuck on a bridge like that, is having it fucking collapse.
Oh God.
You know?
That's
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
All right, let me do my. Sorry, I'm looking at my unpopular opinion list here. It's what I have to. I get so many ideas all the time. I feel like this might be unpopular, but the blue check marks on Instagram and I guess X now or whatever have lost their meaning.
Yeah,
I
because
agree.
you pay for
You
them.
pay for them
Yeah.
now.
You have
It's
to
like
pay for them.
I see people that have like 3,000 followers with a blue
Yeah.
check mark. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
yeah.
I've seen that too, and I'm just like, wow, now I know you pay $150 a month to have that blue check mark.
That's so
Like-
crazy.
Insane.
month?
Yeah,
That's so crazy.
insane.
I don't know if that's the exact amount, but
I'd
Some-
believe it. Damn.
You know, Brooke, I don't mean to speak for you,
mm,
but I think your unpopular opinion is that vegetables are just as good as meat.
yeah, that is mine. That is one of mine. Yeah.
It's a very unpopular opinion, but
Um,
sometimes I'm there with you. She's a vegan.
I'm vegan. I'm one of those.
just as good as meat in what like taste wise or like nutrition wise, or like what's the angle here?
Just as good, if not better.
I think, well, I've always liked the taste of meat. However, recently, in the past, 4 years ago, I stopped eating meat. Not because I didn't like the taste of it, but because I wanted to be more ethically sound. And I think that they taste great.
It's just seasoning.
They're better for you sometimes. I mean, that's
Most of the time.
opening a can of worms. But
Yeah,
yeah, I eat vegetables
Yes,
a
you
lot.
do.
they're definitely good. I mean, I try to do like a vegetarian diet a few years back, and I did not feel good, and I needed to get back. I started eating meat again, and I felt great again.
Yeah.
So it's just I also probably didn't do it right. You know what I mean? So there's like
Right.
ways to do it, and all that. But I think like if you like the taste, I don't know, the ethical argument, it can go either way on it. There's different points to be made on it. And then as far as nutrition goes, there's a bunch of different arguments on
Right.
that too. I think the safest like perspective to argue this from is like a taste and just like texture thing.
Right.
And
Right.
people like veggies and can do that because they like the taste of it and all, and that's amazing. I like vegetables, but for it to be the only thing that I'm eating would, I like chicken
Yeah.
and pork and like
Right.
beef and all that. It's like
Well, I feel like after a while, your taste buds change.
yeah,
Yeah.
for
Like
sure.
at first, I was like really craving meat, but eventually, like I don't crave meat.
Yeah, you're off of it long enough, and then you kind of just adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my household is vegetarian, but if I'm out and about and I am around chicken, I'll eat chicken.
Yeah, it's so good,
But,
especially if it's like seasoned correctly. Oh my god, stop it.
Try a rutabaga, man.
What's that?
So I guess that is an unpopular opinion.
It's weirdly controversial too. I feel
It
like
is.
there can be like I don't know, whatever. People like to
Yeah.
get all hung
I
up
mean,
on things.
you can watch. There's so
Vegans
many,
can be so heated.
They really can.
Yeah,
I was vegan for a year and a half, so yeah.
it's a hard life.
I was.
Yeah. Well, I guess it makes sense sometimes. Like if you're that passionate about it, it can make you mad.
It can make you mad because you think that you can get so wrapped up in the thought of like you are actively participating in a genocide. That's
with the
how
same-
far
Yeah.
that they've
Right, but it kind of negates
Felt like
the
it.
fact that there's also if everything is life, then there's a genocide happening on that front too, and there's like
talking
you know,
to you.
Mm.
Don't talk to me.
Is-
you know,
Meow.
but yeah, that's definitely a good unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Veggies.
Well, guys, thank you so much for being here today. This was awesome.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really fun conversation.
Yes. So fun.
I love the I love the music. I love what you guys are doing. I wish you guys the best of luck with everything.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
You got
Thanks for
anything-
having us.
For sure. You got anything you want to plug real quick?
Do we?
Stream Ghost.
Yeah. Stream Ghost.
Tell all your friends. Tell your grandma.
E-
Tell your boyfriends and your girlfriends.
And your fake boyfriends.
and your fake boyfriends.
Get those fake streams up on
And,
Spotify.
Yeah.
And soon we will have vinyls.
Mm-hmm.
Date TBD.
Mm-hmm.
But
we should probably do like a pre-save like link.
yeah,
We'll talk.
that'll be TBD too.
Cool. Hell yeah. All right, guys. Thanks again.
Thank
and
you.
thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Yay.
Awesome.